Hey guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about using the residential template for multifamily properties and why Scribeware is really designed to just use as few templates as possible. So this is an example of, we all know that we don't test angle stops during inspections, and most of our clients don't know that. So I built a little descriptor note, and I just checked this, and it says it's got a picture of an angle stop and explains why I don't operate them, that they're likely to leak. Now, I love that. I built that into my template. It took me a little time. If I were to have a duplex template and a triplex template and a fourplex template, I would have to rebuild that in every template, which would be super inconvenient. So that's sort of just one reason why it's really nice to have a single template. Now, remember with Scribeware, we could go to like the crawl space chapter. All this stuff is blank, right? None of these have been filled out. And what that means is the crawl space chapter is in my template, but it's not going to print. It's just, if I don't fill it out, it won't be there. So if I have a house that doesn't have a crawl space, I basically ignore that chapter. If I want to, I can come up and check it green, and then it shows green over in the chapters, and I kind of know that I don't need to go touch that anymore. So you can build a lot of things in for a multiplex, a multifamily, and not need to touch it if you don't need them. So that's another reason why a single template works for multifamily. Now, let's say you're doing a multifamily and it's a duplex, and there's two different sub panels. There's a sub panel in each unit, one and two. Well, I can come under sub panels and I can hit a plus sign, and I can come down and I can relabel it sub panel unit number two. And I come up here, sub panel unit number one. So now I've got, this allows me, if I want to save the template, no, I'm just going to apply this to this report. You can also ignore that and it'll just go away. The default is it is only saving it for this one report you're doing. You're not permanently saving your template. So now I've got two subpanels. You can go into your bathrooms and we could rename these, right? If we're just going to have, if there's one bathroom in each unit, we could say bathroom unit number one. Come up here and retitle this one bathroom unit number two. So let's say there's two kitchens. So we can go into the kitchen and we can hit the plus sign. We could say kitchen unit number one, kitchen unit number two. Now, if you do tons of duplexes and multiplexes, you can see this does take a little bit of time to go through and start tweaking these things. And if that's too much time and you're really doing loads of these, then you may want to make a multifamily template. Again, you could actually have all this stuff built in, and as long as you have everything blank, the extra chapters would not print. So that is another option, is just having a lot of this as a default and set up as blank. Let me show you how you can set up as blank. I have tested as just a default. Now that means it's not blank, so kitchen sinks and faucets will show up in the report. I can hit this little pen. I can come under here where it says tested. This is the thing. Use first option as a default value. If I uncheck that, and then if I save my template, I'm not going to save my template because I don't want to pick up these other changes. But that would make it so that that's always blank as kind of a default. If that makes sense. Let's say there's two water heaters. You can come under plumbing and water heater. You can hit the plus sign and do the same thing. Unit number one, unit number two. So it's a pretty flexible template. Sometimes under water heaters, if they're all the same, I'll just use a single, let's say they're both Bradford white water heaters. I might just come under here and say to Bradford White or something like that, and just use a single section to make it. And by the same, I mean, they're all the same age basically. The other day I did a sixplex and I had four water heaters that were all put in at the same time, and I used one section for that. And then I had two water heaters that were really old, and I had another section for that. And if I had six water heater sections, it just seemed like it was just going to be hard to read. So that was just how I did it on that one. So the template is very flexible. You can kind of do what you want. And then on the interior, you could create a separate interior chapter for each unit, interior number one, interior number two, interior number three, or you could roll them all under a single chapter and just in the comment say, what's going on. So if there was a lost seal in unit number one, we could come up and type lost seal. A lost seal was noted in the glazing C unit number one. So I might do it like that. It kind of depends. If you have a lot of stuff, you might break out into multiple interior chapters. I usually find I can get away with a single interior chapter and just, do my comments like that. Another way you can also do them is to help the end user see it better is just in bold right before the comment. So you could just go unit number one, come up and make a little bold statement, or just, and then that way it's clear which unit you're talking about. So there's different options there. Anyway, that's my advice is, unless you're doing tons and tons of multifamily and it's a part of work every day, I just use my residential template, my basic template, and I just used it the other day for a sixplex, and it worked pretty awesome. I did have to spend a little bit of time tweaking the template in the beginning to just get all the bathrooms and kitchens and everything laid out the way I wanted, but it wasn't too hard. Okay, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.